we live?
I think so. Morning, everybody.
Good day, good people.
How we all doing? Oh, this is going to be fun. I didn't realize I was going to hear myself. Okay.
Oh dear.
So we're here on Children Matter News.
Basically, we're winging it.
How do I? So bear with us because we've got a lag, so we're hearing ourselves here. Hey, TKE Media. So just to give you all a heads up, Katie is
a little busy right now.
Katie is having a bit of a sabbatical at the moment. She's taking some time out. So there's a few of us subbers that have agreed to come on and just try and keep things running whilst she is having a bit of time off. So you've got Brett and I today. And, well, we're just going to wing it and hopefully keep you entertained. What do you reckon, Brett?
Yep, basically, we're just hoping to entertain the crowd if we can bring some information across, speak about current things which are going on. There's basically, well, it's everybody's show really, so everybody's participation will run from that.
If nothing else, we're going to show you how professional Katie actually is by how bad we actually are. This is tricky just hearing your own voice. Anyway, for those of you that don't know, I'm the Rainbow Wizard. So difficult. So I'm a subber. I don't know. I've been subbed to Katie's channel for about a year now. Come via Red Pill Phil's channel, and obviously the topics that Katie talks about are something that are close to my heart. As far as I can see, she's doing a great job keeping everybody up to date with what's going on. And yeah, like I say, we're just here supporting Katie and the channel. And don't laugh at me. And doing what we can just to keep things ticking over. Very distracting. Yes, extremely. Afternoon, Simon.
Yeah, afternoon, Simon. Afternoon,
So,
everyone else in the chat as well.
We thought we'd kind of be led by whatever you guys are interested in talking about. Give you the opportunity to see whether or not we can talk about any topics that you're interested in. So use the chat to ask anything you want to know. As I say, I'm Rob, aka the Rainbow Wizard. I'm an artist these days. I've worked within child services, youth services. I've worked with autistic and Asperger since I was 19, so that's been a while, 30 something odd years. I can't actually talk very much about my work that I've done because I took a settlement because of something that happened in my last job. Kind of regretting that these days, not being able to say very much. But hey, Brett,
you want to hear a bit about myself?
Go on, give us a bit about you. Yeah.
Well, I'm Brett. I've been knocking about in the movement, so to speak, for about 3 years, 2 years proper, really. Um, I guess I started off coming from my friend in Rochdale, a guy named Billy Howarth, who now runs PAG UK, which is 138 Yorkshire Street, Rochdale. PAG stands for Parents Against Grooming. Um, he kind of started it up after his he come across his daughter messaging. He has a good relationship with his children. I know that. His children informed him that we had an unwanted chat with some guy or some wrong un, so to speak. So he went to the police, obviously, as you do. And basically, the police did nothing. So he basically took it on himself to do something about it. And from there, he's basically been on a very big mission in Rochdale, not just helping the children's aspect of things, but the whole community, old people, homeless people. And if it'd be okay, I could probably read you a little thing which he was very good enough to tell his own little story, so to speak. Um, although
Brett,
me,
before
me
you go
being a
into that,
different, yes,
just trying to keep up with the comments a little bit here. Let let me talk to the guys out there about Katie's situation a little bit. I'm not going to go into too
yeah,
much
good, yeah, yeah,
detail, but um, Katie's, as you're all aware, she's got some ongoing things to do with her kids and so on. And we've found ourselves, as a lot of you will probably be aware, you know, trying to find the funding to be able to fight these guys in court and so on is hard work, and that's how they beat us all the time. You know, they've got the cash to do whatever they want. They've got the cash for all the big posh solicitors and everything else. Um, my involvement a while back, I donated. As I said, I'm an artist, so I donated a painting a while back for Katie and Children Matter News. They did a raffle. Um, if anybody's interested out there, I have proposed, because we need to get some funding together for Katie, try and get things a little bit easier for her. You know, that's the purpose of what we're doing here now. Just showing support. This is a community for all of you guys, and this is where we pitch in. We get together, we do what we can to help each other out. So limited to a degree of what I can provide. Times are tough for all of us, but what I did propose, and I'm quite happy to do, is I've got a stock of paintings. Maybe I'll auction them off, but we want to know whether or not that's something you guys are interested in doing. I'm quite happy for one of you, or three of you, or 10 of you to have a painting of mine up on the wall, and if that means that we're bringing some income to support a member of our community, then I'm more than happy to be doing that. But we need to get some feedback from you guys. We need to get some ideas. We need to start brainstorming so we can start supporting each other.
would be good to do an
So any
online auction on
ideas
it.
from you guys in the comments there, feel free. Okay, we're nobody particularly important. We're just friends, subbers, parts of this community, doing what we can, when we can, the way we can, and see if it works. Anybody wants to throw money towards Katie's fundraising, then just get on with it. Anybody got any ideas of how they could fundraise? Let's talk about it. That's me.
Yeah, what I can see of Katie's case, um, It looks real good, but she's going to need the fundraising, like you say. She's doing this on her own. She hasn't got no big legal team behind her or anything else. She's just got good knowledge and righteousness behind her,
And
basically.
that could be
And
any of
she's
you guys out there. It could be any. You know, we can all find ourselves in positions that we're isolated, and in fact, there's a lot of that going on at the moment. So we all chip in, do the little bit that we can. We all support each other. Job done. So that's me
what's
got my bit out the way. Brett, I kind of interrupted. You were on the flow there, dude.
that's not right.
I'll shut up for a bit. Let you get on with it.
Yeah. Just bring this back up and I'll run with it. Right. So this is basically a 5-part blog which Billy has on the PAG UK website, which is www.paguk2021.co.uk. If people would like to have a look at that page, lots of information on there. Everything to do with the kids and the fights which he's had. So yeah, let me. I'll read Billy's story, which is an exclusive.
I'll drink my coffee.
Make me one, will you, please? My
There's a
mouth's
part of
dry.
it idiot doing.
Right. My name is William Howarth. I am the founder of PAG UK, father of 2 and grandfather of 1. I am also a survivor of childhood abuse. This is my first blog and it will be followed by many more. I hope you enjoy it and draw strength from it as I do. For over 10 years now, I have operated in the field of CSE/CSA, and I want to speak about this for the first time publicly. So I will start at the beginning. I was lucky as a child that I had 2 parents who did everything for me. However, they could not keep me still. I was a wanderer, a fleer, off at the first opportunity. I would disappear for hours on end, frightening my mother to death on most days. At first, it was a case of adventures. We lived on the Stansfield estate in Littleborough, Rochdale, and for any kid growing up there at the age of 8, it was heavenly. You could leave your house and have your own mills, fields, quarries, and tunnels to explore. You could head in a different direction every day and feel safe every day. My parents would despair at my daily Houdini acts of going missing. But little did I know that this freedom I had would lead to the despair it did. A few years later, we moved to Kirkhope when I was about 10 or 11. A new estate with new friends and new places to explore. But this time wanting to explore, wanting to be like any other kid, led me to my first predator, an encounter with a paedophile. I would never be able to go into detail in my blogs, and I don't think you would want to read about it. All I can say is at this moment, it sent me on a path that led to more abuse and my lack of love of life. I will continue to share my story over the weeks to come. I stand with survivors as I am one, Billy Howarth. Do you want to come in, Rob, with anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Along
That's
with blogs, that's part 1 of 5.
that's pretty heavy stuff, dude. Um, so just let me get my head round. What's your relationship with Billy, and how do you know Billy?
Well,
How did you get involved?
me and Billy first met through online gaming. We were both Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 4 players. when it came out, so to speak. And then I heard about a clan, which was the Outlaws clan, which is it's actually related to the Outlaws motorcycle gang. Um, and we basically got to meet through that really, and then it realised that he was only up the road in Rochdale and I was in Oldham at the time. I'm from Oldham originally. Currently live in St Helens now. But yeah, that's how I met Billy really, and then we just got to become friends. And then when this started, when Billy started doing that, we wasn't as close as we was now. But funnily enough, what's a similar thing what happened to him with his daughter, my stepdaughter, showed us some messages from Guy, and he showed me a picture basically of a man stood there in front of a mirror with his camera over his face with his you know what hanging out. So I contacted the police, and the police got really involved and obviously did nothing. So I know a bit about my computer stuff, and because we was in the gaming clan, we all sussed out how to connect with this guy, and then basically IP traced the guy, and he was basically we got it to the junction box in Derby, in between a college and a university, I believe. So that's where he was obviously using his device, or a mobile device, to send to and from there. So he was a bit like protected in a way by his own little cleverness, but surely he could have been found. I did all the police work for them, and then they told me that I was doing wrong by doing these sorts of things and engaging with the guy and keeping the conversation going, so to speak. But I didn't instrument anything, and I didn't. And it went as far as the fact that he asked to see me pussy, so I took a picture of next door's cat and compressed the data that many times that the FBI would have struggled to get into it. But strangely enough, he managed to get into it, so he was quite computer literate as well. So that's basically how I met Billy, really.
That sounds frustrating.
It's frustrating when the police don't help you, and you give them quite what
To say
seems
to say the
evidence. And
least, really.
you could clearly identify the guy by tattoos that on his body and marks. Do you know what I mean? He was completely naked, or he was just covering his face with his phone. But, yeah, I wanted to go down to the place and try and find the guy and everything, but the police warned me. So.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? We
And then nothing came of
can't
it.
take these things into our own hands, but we are kind of stuck in the position where we're reliant on the police, and they're obviously not doing the job
No,
as well as we'd like. Let's put it that way. That's me trying to be diplomatic there. Um, so isn't that what we need? Isn't that what this is all about?
Well, we shouldn't be here,
Realizing that there's
should we?
shortfalls in the system that we're all involved with, whether we like it or not,
Yeah, we
and
should be
making
having
some
this conversation.
changes to bring some justice to this whole situation. What's the answer, dude?
I don't know, mate, but it's sad when it's left to us doing what we're doing now on, you know what I mean, on Children's Matters. These platforms shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? We shouldn't be spending our time having to fight for our kids. There's enough organisations and authorities above us that should be that are already in place to help us. It's
Yeah,
their
well,
job.
I think the
But
one thing that's dawned
money.
on me through all of this stuff is that the trust that we have in these systems, the trust within the political process and everything else, it's just not working, is it? You know, we've
No,
got vulnerable kids, and then nobody's been informed that this stuff's going on. When it is going on, the mainstream media aren't covering it. We aren't. getting any justice out of this. And more importantly, we want it just to stop.
Yeah.
And it
But
and we're powerless to be able to make those that are in power, those that have the authority to do something about it. We can't even get them to do their jobs these days, eh?
yeah, but these things, it's like with that stuff with Peg UK Village, you know what I mean? He actually got banned from Rochdale Police Station at one point for reporting too many crimes. It was something down them lines anyway. Do you know what I mean? It was hilarious. But I've been out with him. Do you know what I mean? Some of the stuff that he does, parent patrols and things, where we walk around the streets at night. You know, in certain areas where hoodlums hang around, and you know what I mean. But kids go there; they're attracted to these places and some of these parks and everything. He's actually caught one man red-handed behind Rochdale Town Hall, and
Wow.
he actually marched him in a headlock to the police station at the time. Shahid Razak, his name was, and he followed it right from that moment, right through court, helped the families and everything else, where the police didn't really. Do you know what I mean? It's sad. And with
Oh,
the
it's
child
it's
group,
it's beyond sad, buddy. It's well beyond sad. It's they're taking the piss now. You know, the problem
but it's
we've
still
got is that nobody has any. We want to do this legally. We want to do this the right way. We are aware that there's some problems, so we want to talk to our kids about what they're facing out there. At the same time, we want to protect them, and we don't want them to be aware that there's a big, horrible, nasty world out there. But in the meantime, whilst and let's not point fingers. You know, there's a lot of shortcomings throughout all of this stuff. But it's we're at a point now where we need to start making decisions about, well, if the system above all of this stuff, if it's the authorities, if it's politicians, if it's the police, if they're telling us that they're having their hands tied and they can't do anything about it, then we need to get them to re-look at what systems they're working with and get them changed. That's it. They're there to protect us. They're there to protect our naive, innocent kids. If they're telling us that they can't do anything about it because of paperwork, because they're understaffed, underfunded, all of this stuff, then let's get on with finding a way of changing that, isn't it?
but
Or am I just being naive?
no, you're absolutely right. But it's all been said before, hasn't it? Many times, and it nothing becomes of it. It's like with all the politicians, you know what I mean? They promise everything and deliver nothing.
But nothing comes of the way we do it now. So
Do you
maybe we
mean
need to
regards
start
to
becoming a bit
protest?
more creative.
Do you mean with regards to protesting
I mean,
types of thing?
innovative ways of dealing with this. I'm not saying I know what the answer is. I'm saying communities getting together like we do, talking about it for one, talking about individual cases, but using them as an example for proposing a new structure. I've been in business. I haven't always been an artist, and at the end of the day, what it needs, people coming to you with a problem isn't going to solve the problem. People coming with a problem, but also with a solution, at least starts giving us a position to start working from.
Yeah, but I
A
think
bit,
like
a bit like what Katie's doing. You know, creating these channels, starting people talking about this stuff is the first step, or at least.
yeah, but that's it. I think these authorities, these organisations, the people running them should be people like Katie-Jayne,
Yeah,
Sharon,
agreed.
real people which have first-hand experience with the pros and the cons, and they know how to deal with it. You know what I mean? And it needs to be public instead of the rest of this private corporate crap we have to deal with every day. Do you know what I mean? It needs to be a proper public thing.
Do you know what it comes down to, Brett? And this is going to sound harsh, and I'm sorry, everybody in chat, but it's about taking responsibility. It's about realizing that this thing isn't going to fix itself, and that everybody has a part to play in this, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. It's like all the Manchester demos I've been to. I know Manchester's a lefty town and like Liverpool and that, but I just think it shouldn't matter whether you're right or left and all that lot. You know what I mean? Kids are suffering. You know
This
what I
is our
mean?
people. This is us.
And
This is our kids. You're right.
I look round and there's like 30 people, 50 people sometimes on a good day have turned up, and I'm like, where is everybody? Does nobody care? And I think gutted inside, feel like it feels like nobody cares. Do you know what I mean? I know people are like happy to sit at home and everything, but you've got to do something. Every person's got to do something. You know what I mean? It
I do.
sickens me to see not a lot of numbers. Do you know what I mean? And then when you do talk about facts, if you say the word, as soon as you mention the word Muslim in Manchester, that's it. The demo turns shit. Everybody's fighting. You know what I mean? And it's like we're not here to blame the Muslims. It's the police not actually. Do you know what I mean? And you can't even get the argument across. Look, we're not against religion and anything else. We just want to protect kids. It don't matter whether you're white, black, pink, green, or purple. You know what I mean? There's just our only agenda is that. But facts are facts, but you can't state facts.
I think you're absolutely bang on.
Sorry, I'm getting angry.
No, that's nice, man. It's truth. You know, it's something you can't get away from, and it's what we need more of. We need more people getting this passionate about this situation, because it's, even if you're not being hurt, not even if you're not being affected directly by this at the moment, it's not going to go away, and it's possibly going to get you at some point in the future. I don't want to be a doom and gloomer, but we're all suffering. You know, even if it's the fact that one kid who could have been a superstar politician to fix the world is not given the opportunity, not given that platform to go and make that change for us all, because they're locked up indoors right now. They're not able to spend time with their friends. They're being removed from their families. All of this stuff, you know, we all make the assumption that it's somebody else's responsibility. It's down to somebody else to fix. It's not going to go away like that. Trusting the system that is doing this is only going to prolong the agony of all of this stuff.
It doesn't work. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm not talking about getting up and, you know, protesting is good, going on marching, showing solidarity, that's all good. I'm not talking about going out in the streets and doing anything illegal either, or anything that's going to harm anybody else.
Well, you shouldn't do that.
The responsibility that we all have is to go and talk to your MP, go and talk to the people in authority, tell them that we're not happy, write letters, write petitions, do all of this stuff, but stand shoulder to shoulder with those people that need your support. That's all you need to do at the moment. You need to just show other people that you care.
Yeah, totally.
And that's what I'm here for. You know, like I say, I'm nobody special. I'm just here to help Katie's channel continually going, because this is where we find the answers. Chatting amongst the chat there, talking about this stuff. I mean, we know that we're doing something right, because all these channels keep getting taken down, and that's the truth.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The more people talk truth, the quicker they are to take these channels down because they don't want to show that they're making mistakes and they're not doing their job. That's enough right now. That's enough right
going
now.
against the plan, isn't there? Whichever conspiracy theory or truth teller, as I generally call them, whichever story they have, that unfortunately there's too many of these stories which have come true. So where are these people now? All those people what went and had the fucking doobie just so they can go on holiday. How stupid do they
Oh,
think?
well, and they're not going to get that this year either, are they?
Isn't it? You know what I mean?
And
And then
look, you know, conspiracy theory. Conspiracy is two or more people talking about a third party. Theory,
yeah,
every science, every religion, it's all
yeah,
theory.
yeah,
You know, nobody
100%.
knows 100%. The Pope can't tell you that God exists 100%. End of. Okay, so what we're doing here, somebody wants to label me a conspiracy theorist, crack on. Okay, you just stopping
That's like
yourself
being
having the ability to see beyond that. Okay,
yeah,
once you put a label on it, end of. It's not
absolutely.
about that. I don't believe I'm 100% right about anything.
No,
I want to hear what everybody else has got to say. I want to hear what everybody else's experience of these things are. And the fact is that we all realise that those experiences are adding up to, we're all getting screwed. We're all getting done over by these guys that we put in power, that we pay to do a job on our behalf, and they're taking the piss. Sorry for swearing, guys, but
oh,
this is truth as far
yellow
as I'm
card,
concerned.
yellow card.
What's that?
You get a yellow card for the swore.
Sorry, Katie.
That's one extra painting.
I thought we'd come on here and have a bit of banter like we have been doing. To all you guys out there, we've been working on what we're going to do with regards to all of this stuff.
We've planned everything and
We
done
were
none of
just
that.
going to have a bit of a laugh. I didn't realise we'd go this way. But hey, you know, this is important stuff, I guess.
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say then. Thank Dave in the
Anyway,
chat. So, who else is in the chat? Dawn
yeah,
Ogden.
let's do that bit. Let's read some chat. Give
Norman
us
Foreman,
some questions in the
Jay
chat,
Stephen,
guys.
Sharon,
Yeah, no fucking
wonderful
swearing.
Sharon.
Fair enough.
Hopefully we'll get to see a pass parcel. What else we got in here? Boo. Hello, Boo. What's going on?
Read the adoption plan. Blair created in 2000. So Tony Blair in the year 2000 led to Ofsted targets and forced adoption. 20 years on their great plan has led to more kids in care, at risk, all in the statistics as proof. It's
Tony
true.
Blair's some nice man.
Sharon, absolute warrior, by the way. Goes without saying. Doing some great work. Assumptions to justify that what they receive as child protection. Well, it's a bit of a cliche, but assuming makes an ass of you and me, eh?
Well, if
Thanks,
you're
Katie.
into your common law, we're
trying our best.
your birth certificate says property of the Crown Corporation. You know what I mean?
Hey, Craig Steele, how you doing? Oh man, listen, we're only going to be on for an hour. You can get me started on that stuff. We'll be here all day. The Queen, love her, don't we? You know, the corporation that it is that we all live under.
I love the idea of it. I love the fact that we have a royalty and all that lot, but I think that family stinks, mate. Sorry.
Simon Oliver, you get laughed. I'm guessing you get laughed at when Who's laughing at you, dude?
At least you've got an opinion. That's what I say. At least you're willing to speak about it, whether it be right, wrong, or inflammatory to some people. You know what I mean? Oh, you gotta watch out. You can't have hurty words.
You're
Hurty
right,
words.
Brett.
Worst
You
thing
know,
going now.
this younger generation as well are really struggling to hear have their voices heard by anybody. Nobody's listening, for one.
What do we think of the protests, mate, that have gone on over the past few days?
So, it's gonna be so careful. I really don't want this channel getting taken down. That's not the idea at all. But I watched what was going on in Bristol live, and
Yeah,
then or I should say, I read the reports done by the mainstream media. There was beg your pardon. There's a report there done by the BBC, and it was just full of lies.
really?
I I
BBC?
I what? Yeah, I'm sorry. It may shock you a little, but I watched as the people there in Bristol stood up against the police. The BBC reported how the poor police had all had broken bones and there was that van set on fire. The truth was that I was watching police with their batons out, smashing young women, ladies in the face with their batons.
And there was stamping
I'm not
going
going to
on.
say there wasn't a provocation. They were there, standing their line. These young ladies alongside these young men. But there were riot police with shields and batons letting rip on these guys. None of that was reported by the BBC. I watched as a couple of individuals set fire to that police van. The police drove past it. They didn't stop or intervene at that point. It was they drove past within, I don't know, 10 minutes of that van being set on fire. They could have got out if they must have had a fire extinguisher on their van. They could have put it out. Job done. But what has this done instead?
There was
This
so
bill
much
that they're
space,
talking
though.
about putting through, it's just fuel that. You know, it worked in their favour. Whether
Yeah.
it was deliberate or not, it
Oh,
worked in their favour.
it's the same with the demo in Manchester that I went to last week. You know what I mean? The vans that they leave hanging around, all 9 plate and 10 plate rock boxes. You know what I mean? Rusty as hell. You know what I mean? Not had a wash. You know what I mean? They just dragged them out, hoping that someone's gonna smash the windows, paint it, damage it, set. That's what it was there for. But me, when I go out on demos, I go and check what the opposition is. I go and find out what's the problem's going to be for today, what I'm going to have to deal with. So I look at police and all the rest of it. And I knew the police weren't going to do a thing. There were people running around saying, "Oh, the police are going to kettle us. They're going to do this." And I'm like looking. I'm like, none of that's going to happen here. They want you to do something. They'll do something.
Absolutely.
You do something. You do nothing. Just carry on. Keep moving around. Don't get yourself cornered. If you do, get out of there. Pretend you're somebody else. You know what I mean? Turn around to a copper and say, "Oh, look at these dirty protesters here." Do you know what I mean? They'll let you walk by. You know what I mean? You've done it yourself. Active patriot gets away with it, no problem. You know what I mean? That's the way you do it. But there were no opposition for us. But they don't wanted it. You know what I mean?
I do. I do. I know watching Red Pill Phil last weekend and watching how the police manipulated the crowd. They directed it exactly. I was watching with TKE Media. He's here. I was watching on his live feed. I was watching Rupley. I was watching the overhead cameras, and it was so obvious from us watching that these protests, again, even that, it's being manipulated and portrayed to the people out there
Yeah,
who are
I've done enough
scared.
enough demos now and I see how they work. Do you know what I mean? And it's like Katie got a bit cleverer with us. You know what I mean? It was like although I got nabbed still in Liverpool, gypsy grabbed on the Liverpool demo.
Yeah, yeah.
It's better that we're working it, somebody behind the scenes watching other channels, over what's going on and everything. It
But
is
even
better than keeping
even
it
the
safe.
gypsy grabbing, yeah, that's the tricky thing, As much as we try hard to do the right thing, you know that you're being manipulated. Watching it go from walking around London to Hyde Park, the police getting set up, ready to do, picking off, watching these protests over this past year, watching how the police would deliberately go at middle-aged women
Yeah,
to
trying to
provoke
take
the
the crowd.
blokes around them to get, handy.
Yeah, it's been clear for the way they're working and the way they're doing things. You know what I mean? It's sad.
It's sad, but you know what's coming from this is the fact that the likes of you and me, just everyday kind of blokes, we're seeing this. We're not the only ones seeing this. There's a lot of people watching this going on right now.
Mm.
What we don't want is people to start hurting people. That's not what this is about. But at least being aware that this stuff is playing out means that the next time round, maybe somebody won't set fire to a van because they realise the implications of that. Next time round, it sounds really cheesy, but Gandhi sitting down, not getting involved. Those guys who are only left with hurting people, arresting people, locking them up. And we've seen all of that. There's no authority in what they're doing. They're picking people up at these protests, they're putting them in the back of a van, they're giving them a fine, a notice of a fine, and then dropping them off around the corner, telling them to sod off, or we'll arrest you and we'll ban you and all this stuff. And then if you look into these things and you see these fines that are being given out by the likes of ACRO, which are, for
One
all
mate, yeah.
intensive purposes, the secret policeman ball funding, offshore
Yeah.
accounts all over the place that feed directly
It,
into.
it won't be
It's
so bad
it's
if it
all
actually
wrong. It's all corrupt. We know it's it's
happens, but it
it's
doesn't.
it's corrupt. All we need to do now is just sit back, watch as the majority of the public realise they're getting screwed.
I have noticed more people coming out. The majority, that demo in Manchester, do you know what I mean? There are so many people that I'd never ever seen before. I'm used to seeing all the same bones when I go to demos, almost sickening in a way. So when you get new people, it's refreshing. You're like, yes, that's the way forward. It's something forward, isn't it? One more man, one more man. Do you know what I mean? It's like with I go on the Delroy show on Tuesday night at 9 p.m. on Wake Up UK, and he says it there. He says, if I just teach one man and one man teaches another man, do you know what I mean? We'll get there. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it's all about. So it was good that the Manchester demo was almost like a nice walk and almost not like a demo because it was very quiet. But at least there was more people there. The numbers were there. There was plenty of people. A lot of people, there were hundreds turned around and went back to Manchester instead of walking to the police station to we give our crime reports in, our complaints for the way that the police have been dealing with crime and stuff. So yeah, it's good that more people are getting involved.
It is, and look, there's a lot of different ways of protest, and the if you go to the age old adage of follow the money, if you stop supplying that money, we take away the power. And it sounds a bit tired, but it's we've all been locked up, we've all been confined to quarters, and we've all been forced to spend the money that we need to spend on the likes of, well, I'm not going to name names, but big corporations. We're funding them, we're supplying the cash they need to enslave us,
Yeah.
aren't we? Stop doing that. Stop giving them your money. Go and find your mate. Go form communities where somebody who's growing lettuces in their garden, go and buy the lettuce off him.
Yeah.
Somebody
Well,
who, you know,
people need to look up the Universal Law Community Trust, because that's what they're doing. They're not doing any commerce. It's all done by kindness credits, basically.
you look
And
at
all.
what Bezos is earning now. It's crazy,
Yeah.
and it's no surprise really that why we keep doing that. They're going to keep working their agenda, and it's just going to get worse and worse until we stop giving them that power in the form of your money. Then you keep going to get this stuff. It's as simple as
That's
that.
it. Yeah.
I want to make a point. Somebody in the comments earlier said, do we think that there are more younger people out there? I'm not referring to lefty young people either. No, you know what? I've given up on my generation. They are hard work to get through to. And I've stopped grabbing people and trying to shake sense into them. That doesn't work. But what I'm encouraged by more than everything is when I talk to people all over the place, but these 20 somethings that are coming through, they're aware of what's going on, okay? They're not sure how to approach it. They're not sure how to fix it, but
Yeah.
they're aware, and they're very encouraging. Just to say, we know you're not crazy conspiracy theorists. In fact, you need to know this about this, that, and the other. It's so encouraging to me. We've won this. That's the truth. We've won this. It's just a matter of time, and that time will be shortened the sooner we start supporting each other. The sooner we stop giving our money, our time to these cretins that are calling the shots right now, and start talking to the younger generation that are coming through with fresh ideas and new ideas, innovative ideas of how we do away with the old systems that it's just been proven don't work. But we need to be there to support these generations coming through as well.
Yeah, a lot of the systems not only don't work, they actually on the opposite way. They actually promote the problems.
Absolutely, yeah.
Basically.
And it's all done in a very candid, clever way.
All these people in high places doing all these naughty things. It's absolutely right. How can it not be? Do you know what I mean? Do you think people just make these stories up? Do you know what I mean? And it's proven and proven. We know it goes on. So why ain't it nothing being done about it? Do you know what I mean? These people need shutting down. They're all loads of money. Let's grab the money off them like the police grab, like the courts do with us when we're caught for like say
I've never
going.
done anything illegal. Let me just state that. I've never done anything illegal. I've never been caught for anything apart from a bit of speeding. Let's just
I've
clear
been a
that up,
number when
okay?
I was younger.
I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I've lived.
Can I go back to Toddy, though? I'm going to go back to Toddy. I like that. Where was it? A silent demo, global no-spend day for freedom. Sorted, dude. Let's do it.
I don't know about spending, but what I would like to say is stop going to supermarkets, man. Sort yourself your greengrocers out, your butchers, your local people with real meat that's not messed with, because a proper butcher won't buy crap meat.
Oh, look, I need to make a big point here. You brought it up, Brett. Butchers. I heard this week that bacon gives us dementia. I'm gutted.
Well, I'm mad then. I'm
That's
mad
how
as
they're going to
cheese.
blame us all going crazy. That's how they're going to make us all looking nuts. We've all been eating bacon butties all our lives. We've all
Bacon,
gone mental.
salmon, eggs. Oh yes. Give me some of that, mate. Yeah, I'm mad. Yeah, completely off my trolley. You know what I mean? Umpteen head injuries as well, and I'm still going all right. 46 years young, me, mate. Hey. Some of the people in the chat will tell you that I like to go out and do active things. Mank Dave loves a nice walk with me. Katie-Jayne does as well. Although both these people are actually like partially disabled in a way.
Yeah,
Katie's got dodgy knee.
this past year's been tricky for a lot of us. I make sure that I get out and get my exercise every day, but I mean,
sorry, mate.
I love my swimming. I've been very active with regards to all that gorge walking and everything else. It's been so. I've actually bought dumbbells to try and keep myself fit.
Oh,
It's really important to anybody out there as well that isn't getting their exercise. Get out there, get some vitamin D, get some sunshine, get some fresh air. Make your own mind up whether or not you want to wear a mask. I don't. That's me.
I just have a snood. Keeps me
fresh. Well done, Norma. I don't know whether I could live without a decent piece of steak from time to time, but I've reduced all the red meat stuff, so there isn't. You're right, and we're all a little bit guilty, but I couldn't get by on just cabbage and carrots, I'm afraid.
No, I'm not a veg man myself, man. I like my pies. I'm from Oldham, so I like pies and chip muffins. And
do you know I miss pies? I suffer terribly from indigestion. No, I can't. I eat pastry.
Yeah, I get bad indigestion, but I like pies. I get the indigestion after. I get the pleasure first. Is that Katie's comment saying she's disabled? I know, but you still like climbing trees like me, though.
Look what I got. Katie, you might be, but you know, you could have the biceps of Arnold Schwarzenegger if you tried.
Still a true potato.
Anyway, where are we going? We're look, I knew this wouldn't be too difficult. We're gonna have to start thinking about winding this up soon. Our background administrators, our crew, they've got things to be doing.
Yeah.
What's a vegan pie?
We must say thanks to me.
There's nothing appealing about a vegan pie to me. I'm sorry.
That, mate. We took all the glory today, Rob. Not mention Lee and Steve.
Sorry, dude. This, I don't know about you, but this oh yeah, we should mention that. We have some supporting artists in the background doing all the hard work for us, putting all your comments up. We've all been chipping in, doing some training. Thanks to Stephen Lee. Some great blokes I've met this week as well.
Yeah, we've all pretty much come together pretty well as just completely strangers to a point, or I am certainly to a lot of you. And, you know what I mean? We all got in the room and we all basically got on like house on fire with it. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure we've all got many differences and all the rest of it, but each to their own. We're here for a reason, and we're basically hoping to try and pull something off, keep it going while Katie's a little busy fighting her little corner there, which she's going to do very well at, I can tell you.
Katie's offering to carry on with the admin in the background, but I've drank too much coffee. I could do with a nip to the loo, truth be known. I've been hanging on for 20 minutes thinking we were going to wind it up.
Do you want to go to the loo now then?
Hello.
Hello, how are we?
Lee! Here's Lee, everybody. Say hello to Lee.
No, just ignore me.
Uh,
I just wanted to make out that obviously we've got 7 p.m. tomorrow. Sharon's interviewing Sarah Coulson, I think it is, on the Lioness of North.
well, that'll be good.
Obviously, Red Pill Phil, I think, is doing next Sundays. And hopefully we'll have some more coming up in the week and the weeks following. Try and give Katie a bit of a break. Bye, Mike Dave.
Oh, we'll sort that, Dave.
Yeah, Rob, if you need to go to the loo, you might as well go now.
Cool. Right, excuse me, everybody.
But yeah, if anybody wants to come on and do a show, reach out to Katie's email that I will put up.
Yeah, it's all about you guys as well, so you may as well be a part of it. Any suggestions? Anything you want to hear about? Any specific topics? Anything like that? All be good.
Yeah, and any donations is on Katie's website. Buying any of the merchandise, because that girl's been an absolute star who's never asked for a penny and done this for years all off her own back. So, which is why there's a lot of us who's jumped in and said, what can we do to help? Especially me, who never wanted to be on camera.
Yeah,
being a veteran and being on so many devils, there's no way you can go to one and not know who Katie is.
Thank you, Toddy.
It's what it's all about, though, isn't it? People come forward, you know what I mean? You've got to do your bit. It doesn't matter if it's just a bit, you know what I mean? If you're only in the background, if you're only just following, if you donate at all, if you attend anything, just take part. You know, it's like the raffles that she does, you know what I mean? It's great little prizes, you know what I mean?
They are, and she's never took any money out of it at all. It's gone straight back into Children Matter to try and get awareness.
I know for a fact she puts so much of her own bloody money in. She's just happy to do it.
So yeah, it's one of those things. It's easy once you get to know Katie's story a little bit better to actually relate to her a lot more as well, especially if people have been through similar aspects. She's so knowledgeable on so many different subjects people don't realize.
Yeah, she does impact very well, Lord. You know what I mean? When I first met her, I thought, oh, she's doing brilliant. Her and next thing, she were up on stage outside the Old Bailey at Tommy's trial and said a absolute fantastic thing. The passion in her. You know what I mean? You could just see the passion coming out of her, and it was addictive. Is that Katie's comment?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lurking in background.
Stop hiding.
Hey, we're giving her a break. Don't push it.
So yeah, we're just the team that have got to try and keep this ticking over best we can. I mean, you guys thought you might struggle getting an hour done, and you've flown through it without even realizing how quickly it can disappear on you at a time.
You reckon?
Yeah, I need to be better organized next time, though. It's annoying me. I can't seem to connect my phone to my computer to actually put myself on video, or other than do it on.
Yeah, well, we can have a play about with that at some point, Brett. And if Katie's around at any point, she can let you know how she does it.
Yeah, it's going to annoy me because it's going to be. I've probably been there and like just not done it. You know what I mean? I've explored loads of options this morning. Like, right, I'll get myself sorted, got up early and everything. and they're like, "Oh my god, what we're doing? That's not connected. What's happening here?"
I think Katie and Sharon make it look so easy.
No, you see, I absolutely love this. I'm playing techie today.
I tell you what. Yeah, exactly. It's like you've got a lag of 10 seconds. We've got 4 different people talking at 4 different times. Inside my head is like soup right now. It's crazy. I don't know how you do it, Katie.
I think you're listening to yourself, Rob, somehow.
Standard that, Brett.
I mean, Rob, all I can honestly say is at the moment, all you have to keep doing is
put out the positive feelings.
Okay, that's all we need to do.
Feel the love, guys. Feel the love.
Oh.
And Steve started it this time, not me.
I
Yep.
may be in trouble a bit later on.
Here's where it gets interesting, everybody.
What's that?
So,
That donkey?
can I ask everybody in chat?
Sorry.
What do you want to hear? You know, what can we do? What can we bring you? Any ideas of fundraising? Any particular topics that people would like to discuss? Anybody got any issues that they need help with?
Norman, no, this isn't via Zoom. This is by a site that Katie introduced most of us to called StreamYard.
I like how Katie's telling us two to behave.
Yeah, Katie's constantly going to tell me to behave.
Katie, this one's for you.
Did I?
This
That's
is why
not
we're
fair.
not allowed on.
That's an in joke, guys. Don't. That's why they're in the background being techies and admin. They're not supposed to be doing that stuff. That's just.
Lee, literally, Rob, you've got to admit the only thing that's going through Katie's head right now is
monsters exist. But
Yeah, we've got one.
Oh look! All our viewers have gone.
right. So, information about the new sexual education legislation, how parents' rights overshadow children's sexual rights. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, when I was involved in my kid's life, I would not. Well, I didn't condone the way that schools were going about things. But it's a really big can of worms to get into this. And without doing a bit more research into it, I'm not that knowledgeable on this subject.
There is information out there which I've read myself. I wouldn't like to repeat because I wouldn't definitely be giving out the correct information. But what I read, it was some of the things really alarming. The fact to do with sex education and things, cross-dressing in school and things to describe it, and things like that. I don't know.
Is that just the teachers, though? Yeah.
The one thing I would say about
enough.
it, if you look at what happens in America, it usually comes over. It used to be 10, 15 years, and then it would transfer over here. Now it's in 5 years. And they've got cross-dressers who's going in teaching kindergartens and teaching them how to twerk and stuff like that. I mean, that's not this country, but
I
it's
have
usually a
seen
trend.
those videos, yeah. Disturbing.
It's very disturbing, especially for kids. It's going to alter them forever.
I've always been Sorry, mate.
Address Ultimate Moralizer's question here. Do you feel that it is unfair and hypocritical that the Black Lives Matter movement can get away with riots and that anti-lockdown protesters get arrested even if they're peaceful?
The only thing I would say that we try and avoid any politics because it's a massive way of getting this shut down quick.
I was going to answer that with the fact that you can see this stuff playing out. It's obvious what's going on. You don't need any of us to tell you the answer to that. It's playing out, and the conclusions that you will come to. To me, everybody should have the right to speak their truth. Whether anybody wants to listen to it, that's a whole different matter.
Yeah, you have the choice.
Yeah. Everybody should be able to speak, whatever it is. If there's any justification to it and people want to get behind it, then that's the way, that's the society we're supposed to be living in. If there are any groups being held with higher regard than others, are allowed to do things that others aren't allowed to do, then that's what we're addressing. That's what we need to sort out.
That in itself tells a story, doesn't it? And as for the police interaction, it's just money collection. That's all it is.
All of this is about division. It's all about dividing us all. Because while we're all divided, we are weaker than we would be if we were stood in solidarity.
Right, so let's break from the narrative that we're on at the moment and go back to Katie, because Coleman is asking for an update on the case and about them having a chat last night for all to know. So basically, Katie's really, really busy at the moment trying to get all of her paperwork set up, and you know, at the moment she has to stay in the background to try and keep in mind and focus of where she's at the moment. She's got a little under a week, I believe it is, to try and get everything sorted that she needs to. Obviously she'll let people know more and more further down the line, because it's her business to tell and nobody else's, unless she asks one of us to give the quick update. But at the moment she's doing the best that she possibly can, and she's getting really close to having things finalized where she needs to be. So that's all I'm going to say on that one at the moment.
Okay. There's some really cool, like, good questions, poignant questions being asked here. We're not the best people probably to be qualified, but maybe somebody can take a note of these and we can address them in a future stream, maybe.
Yeah, Rob, these will be here after we come off stream, so I'll be able to run back through everything and see.
Cool.
Yeah, we'll review
right. Well, we'll do that.
Then it gives us another basis for the next show, doesn't it?
So yeah, we're obviously the admin team that, you know, we're going to be trying to run things for a little while. So if the shows are a little bit lacking, you have to bear with us.
Hey, don't you be coming on here telling everybody how lacking this show is. Just being here for 5 minutes. Charlotte, thanks for that. That's what Katie needs more than anything. Just show support, hey? Throw some love hearts in the chat as well. Apparently that does something good for the channel. So let me
Oh,
see the
yeah.
love.
If we can get
Pennies
people
in
to
the
try
pocket, you
and
have a pound to,
like,
as well.
subscribe, and share to their friends groups and that, because we need to try and get our subbers back up on this new channel. It'd be really amazing of you guys, for Katie to be able to come back and have more people in.
Yeah. It's not nice when you're under attack, especially when you've got other things to deal with.
Thanks, Coleman. The love's appreciated. Katie, I hope you're seeing all this.
Right,
You
guys,
got
I'm going to
people
jump
there
back
for
off
you.
for a little bit, and I'll leave you and Brett back to it.
Well, I'm good to end it if you want now. I don't know. Or do you want to carry on?
Cheers, Steve.
Have you anything you want to talk about, Rob?
I think we need to tell a joke or something. We just need to lighten the mood. I got a little bit heavy there. I wasn't intending on doing that.
Did I?
Steve just can't help himself, can he? Look, guys.
Right, I'm coming back into this because that was not me.
Lee,
Makes me quite offended now.
Did I?
Yeah, maybe the background smiling their head off.
Well, I'll behave yourself, seriously.
Give us a joke then.
I'll come and take your spanner off you if you're not careful. Look, to everybody in chat, thanks for joining us. We didn't know what we were doing. We don't know what we're doing. We tried our best to keep you entertained. To let you know, the channel's not gone away. We're just altering the pitch at the moment. Please bear with us for the fact that the lag and everything else added to the fact that you've got admin throwing stuff in the background as well. It's very confusing. For that in itself, you should appreciate Katie. Thanks, Simon. That's appreciated. Like I say, this is your channel, guys. That's why Katie gave us permission to do what we've done today. If you want more of this, let us know. If you've got anything you want to find out information on, we're going to go back through all those questions and we'll find out and research as best we can. Just keep it coming. Just keep spreading the word. Just hitting the thumbs up. Keep liking it, sharing it with your friends, and show Katie your support. It means a lot.
Yeah, and make
That's
sure
me.
you put the bell button on the subscribe and all, because there's going to be different things happening at different times on this channel. Certain people coming on, doing their own interviews themselves. I think we've got Big John interviewing Alan Merritt for us at some point. I think that's coming up. It'd be good to get other things like that going on. I know Sharon's got stuff going on. So yeah, just make yourself aware of what's going on, and thank you for your time.
Brett, we nailed it, dude. I think we did all right.
Didn't even blow up any balloons either.
No balloons. Can't keep coming out with these in jokes. It's just rude. It's just rude.
It's just the tying them. I've told you that's the only problem. Tying them. Even my bird says there's plenty of puffing.
Right, guys. So Lee, if you're there in the background, dude, are you still there?
Oh yeah.
I think we need to wind this up. Thank you everybody for joining us. It's been unusual. Hope we've helped. Hope we've kept things flowing. Have a great Sunday and share the love.
See you.